I can already tell you right now, chat, go build it up before I can get my hands on it. This is going to be nuts on Daniel. Hello everyone, my name is SwingPoynt and welcome to Resident Evil Reisstance. This is the multiplayer game bundled with Resident Evil 3. And today marks the final chapter in Resistance. Capcom released a blog yesterday, as well as this update, the October update. And within that blog, they said this is it. This is all we got planned. Maybe we'll do something in the future, but really this is it. So the analogy that I've been using is that at the end of a movie, sometimes they'll leave you with a cliffhanger to just in case they want to make another movie, but it's still the end of the movie. And we're pretty much at the end of the movie for Resistance here. And it's been a great 6 months, and I'm so grateful and excited about what we've done with this community. I'm so happy to have been a part of it for you guys. And I just wanted to express that before we get into what we found out with this most recent patch here. Because it doesn't take long for us to figure out some of the things that are ridiculous. And we got a ridiculous Dan build, which I find fitting because this is the final chapter of Resistance. And one of the first things I did when it came to Mastermind builds was a Dan build. So let's finish off, or let's start off, I should say, this final chapter with another Dan build. So what we're gonna do today with Daniel is we created a little monster called the Infinite Mr. X build, because that's exactly what it is. Mr. X never stops spawning due to the new cards that are in the game. There's a lot of new cards in this game, like so freaking many new cards. So we're gonna go take a look at them, and we're gonna talk about why we do what we do. We're gonna talk about the 25 points that we have for equipment now, and we're using all of them. And then I'll show you what it looked like in a match that we did on twitch.tv/SwingPoynt. Links in the description. Make sure you, I don't usually say this in a video, but make sure you guys are subbed, because we're gonna be doing all sorts of stuff for this game to finish it out. I might make my final guides for characters now that the game is done, but furthermore, I'm gonna be covering other videos or other games that are, you know, horror related during October, or just really whatever comes out as time goes on here, as Resistance, you know, kind of fades off into the sunset. So let's get into what we got here. Thank you so much again for being here, and let's start from the top. So since this is a Mr. X build, we're gonna run Brutality on Mr. X, because Brutality is his most oppressive damage skill that he has. He goes boom, 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 boom with his punches. He punches faster, makes it so it's really easy to take people out, especially when we start factoring in this equipment that we're gonna put in. For our first passive here, we're gonna run Rend. Reason being is that we're not really going to be doing a whole lot with creatures, but when we do stuff with creatures, we want to get a more powerful bite in when we can, because that's going to provide us with more bioenergy, and it's also going to go ahead and do more damage to the survivors. Your energy leech is attached to the amount of damage you do. A while ago, I showed off how infection scales with the amount of damage you do per swipe or per bite. Energy leech is the same way. The more damage you do with a swipe or a bite, the more powerful the energy leech enhancer is on a creature. And we're gonna have some of that going on in this build, okay? We're also gonna be running endurance, because if we're gonna be trying to get some swipes in and getting energy leech back, we wanna be able to make sure we can actually hit the survivors and not get stunned. So let's run endurance. For our area 2, we have new cards, by the way, in area 2 and area 3 on every single Mastermind. And we'll be looking into this run right here is really good for Dance or Die, by the way. We might do a Dance or Die army with Synchronize. But for today, we're running Overclock, because something really crazy is going to happen in the deck, okay? And then for the Area 3 skill, we're running one of the new cards, Remote Shell. And it's really, really cool and really interesting and really strong. It spawns a zombie with all of the buffs, all the creature buffs. So that's going to be in Berserker, Regen, Energy Leech, and Poison. It's not going to include the brand new Invincibility Enhancer, but it's going to include the other 4. And when you spawn it in, it spawns on the ground, bleh, like it's dead, and you can't hurt it while it's on the ground. You can't kill it. So if you get out of the zombie, it'll faint back down to the ground again. You can't kill it. On top of that, this creature has greatly increased attack power and increased health. It has 50% more attack power, meaning it's basically the same as Sadist up here. So instead of hitting 120 per swipe, you're hitting 180. Instead of 350 on a bite, you're hitting 525. And then on top of that, Rend makes it even stronger, right? So this thing could get really strong if you went full attack power and sadist and all that, but we'll talk about that on another day. We got a bite recorded with this remote shell that did 1,680 damage. One bite did 1,680 damage, but that's not what we're doing today. Today, we're talking about Infinite Mr. X. We got all sorts of builds that we were playing with on Twitch last night. We were just getting started. But for now, we're working on Infinite Mr. X. I just wanted to talk to you about what the card was. Now, since we have 25 equipment points here now, we can get a little more crazy. So we're gonna run System Devlog 3, System Devlog 2, and Control Glove, and all of these are gonna increase your attack power by a bunch. This one's gonna increase the duration of your ultimate skill for a little bit too. And then to top it off, we're gonna run System Maintenance Manual 2 to decrease the ultimate skill cooldown. Not really sure you gotta run this one because of the way that the deck's gonna roll, but it helps speed things up at least a little bit. So to give you an idea of how much damage Mr. X is gonna do per hook punch, he's gonna do like, when you're tracked, he's gonna do like 537 damage per hook punch, I think. So like 3 swipes and anyone's down. So keep that in mind, unless they're running HP stuff. 3 hook punches, any survivor's gonna die. Just 3, even Tyrone. So pretty cool. Now let's move on to the deck here. Now, as with pretty much anything Infinite Dan, it cycles off of overclock. But now let's talk about some of the things that make this thing tick. So the way overclock works is you immediately gain some bioenergy, but it interrupts the bioenergy recharge for a short duration, because usually your bioenergy is passively recharging, right? But when you run this, it stops. The exchange is that you get 3 bioenergy flat out of overclock, but your timer stops. Now we're gonna run into cards that do that in the deck here as well. So let's talk about the deck. With any Infinite deck from Dan, you have to run Shuffle Mod, okay? Because that way you can cycle in more of the overclocks. And then I also like to run Clone so you can cycle in more of the overclocks. Now, as for the other things in this deck, there's a lot of new stuff. In fact, let's go through the old stuff and then we'll talk about the new stuff. We're gonna have a Crawler in here because it's good for cycling. We're gonna have a regular zombie in here because it's good for cycling and he's gonna be cheap due to efficiency mod creatures. And the last old card that we have in here is the zombie dog, just to have something distracting them a little bit. Now on to the new things. The whole point of this deck is to be very inexpensive. Everything in this deck is going to cost 1 constantly. Constantly, everything's going to cost 1 except this thing, because we're trying to feed into this thing. Okay, so Decoy is a new card that came with this patch. It places a harmless trap to trick survivors. That's exactly what it is. You beat it up and you blow it up and it goes and like confetti comes out. They don't get any time back from decoy traps, so keep that in mind. That's a really nice thing. You can put those in the way of Martin. You can put those really just to distract them. These are kind of cool and they cost nothing and they give no time back. It's a nice way to get a little bit of utility in without risking any time back. Now here kind of goes on to the theme of your bioenergy recharge getting even more delayed. Dan's the only one that can really do this really well because of overclock, okay? So the V-Act zombie, it only costs 1 and it has all 4 buffs. But it makes it so your bioenergy recharge gets delayed for a little while. So these things are really cool, especially when you can get free bioenergy from overclock. These are really good at putting out a door and then getting a bunch of swipes in real quick to kind of feed your bioenergy back, because even though your bioenergy recharge rate is paused, that doesn't mean that you can't get bioenergy back. You can still get bioenergy back if you have energy leech on a creature, which this one will. On to another new card here. We're going to be running Deception. Reason why we're running Deception is it's cheap and it messes with Jan. It makes it so that all of the cameras look like they're active. Every single one of them. So you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna make it so Jan starts blowing her instant skill. It's gonna make it so she blows her malware. It's gonna make it so they waste stuff on cameras. Frankly, if you wanted to, you could probably make a build with a bunch of camera durability. Oh wow, you totally could. You could run a camera durability build and then run Deception constantly just to like mess with them. Oh yeah, dude. Again, we got plenty of ideas. They added so many cards. Anywho, beyond all that, here's the kicker of a card. Immediately decreases ultimate skill cooldown by a certain amount. interrupts bioenergy recharge for a long duration. So your bioenergy recharge rate is going to be disastrous. You're not going to be getting bioenergy back anymore, which is why it's all about overclock. You can't get your economy back without overclock or energy leech. So the VAC zombies and the overclock here are going to do a lot for you. But what this does is, don't have an exact number here, but it looks like it takes like 20% off of the recharge rate on the ultimate skill, or Mr. X. So you cycle a couple of these through your deck, and huzzah, Mr. X. You can basically get Mr. X over and over and over and over again when you're running the remove limiter, which is exactly what I'm going to show you in the matches we had. We ran a couple of matches, and I was trying to figure out the deck. So I'll show you a match where we finally had this deck, and it's never ending Mr. X. It's stupid. They probably need to do something about it because it's ridiculous. So this is the deck. It's really interesting. Get it while it's hot. It's probably going to go away because even though this is the last content update for this game, they are going to go ahead and release a couple of balance patches or things that fix some issues. I bet you this one's going to be considered an issue. It reminds me of Fastaveo. It reminds me of Infinite Molotov Valerie. You basically have Infinite Mr. X. He's always around unless you mess up. So here you go, guys. Infinite Mr. X. Here's the match that we did on twitch.tv/SwingPoynt. Links in the description, by the way, if you want to go ahead and be a part of those live streams. Okay, here you go. Bye.
I have many fun adventures lined up for you. We have death, destruction, disease, all of the fun things at the...
Angry Twitch is tipped $5. Scared now?
Yes, thanks for the tip.
You found a lock, but where is the key?
You're gonna love this.
He feels no pain. The perfect machine for this endeavor.
Okay. Oh no! I totally blanked. I wanted to use my V-Act. Zombie. Oh well. No big deal.
Oui, that could be a key.
How many locks they got? Just like on the range. I've got this.
Becca just shreds.
Go find a place to use that. There is more fun ahead. Fun for me, at least. This really is not a very efficient way of ending your life. But orders are orders.
Oh, I wanted that back bite. Come on. Oh, they gave it to me.
Wow! You're incredible! If it's here, I'll find it. Hacking.
A fittingly brutal weapon for a brutal game. If that were something you needed, do you think I would?
Thank you, zombie. I messed up so bad.
My spare battery weapon in my other pants.
Y'all need those keys, don't you?
This one's locked.
Mine.
Thanks for all the surprises, chat.
Fuck you all.
They're smart to run away from me, though.
This is life. We run and we live. You did not choose this chaos. But at least you saw it
Gotta be
before
something
your
useful
eyes.
here.
There are glaciers moving faster than you.
Oh, she's got me on the malware.
Get your eyes off me.
This really is not a very efficient way of ending your life. But orders are orders.
Someone's not making this easy for us. Right. Got him all out of fire.
Dude. Becca didn't want to lose.
You think this is a problem for me? It is not a problem. It only means your death is slower for you.
She's trying to malware everything.
I'm Jan and I got malware.
Oh boy.
Okay. I expected
Oh
a
no,
little
I thought I had more
less from you,
bioenergy.
but there are more games to come.
A little too risky.
Here's
Let's
Trendy!
have a closer look. Out of ammo!
This is so busted. Yum num 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 pizza.
Bruce Clark tip $20. Final content update tip.
Update tip. These guys are actually playing pretty smart, frankly.
I got this.
You killed Yori!
Door's locked. I might be able to see something.
Exactement!
Healing
Entertainment! A high risk of dismemberment!
Busted.
Bonjour to our guest star, Mr. X!
Thank you so much.
You know we set this up to tease you, do you not? We never really expected you to get it. first aid kit for your boo-boo.
What are you gonna do, Becky?
It will pass. All things pass with time.
If it's here, I'll find it.
There will be no rest here for your corpse once you are gone.
I need more ammo.
This is so broken.
I don't like being watched.
Jan's so annoying. She's malwaring everything.
You see the things you have forced me to do? No matter.
What?
The stain of your blood will be drawn by me.
I disagree.
Would you like to explain how the fuck you have done this? Look at you all. You have no chance. Is this the virus we gave you? What is it doing to you?
I had to use Rampart.
I've seen faster shop mannequins.
They're still screwed, especially on prison. Yeah, I used Rampart and it didn't kick in. They're smart though. Thank you, Bruce, for that $20 tip, by the way.
Everyone who is excited about what comes next, raise your hands. What? I've never been so insulted in my life.
Oh, really? This blows. That's bad luck. This guy's got a lot of HP.
Pieces I have put in place. Time is running out for you, my friends.
Check this out.
Feel no pain. The perfect for this endeavor.
Dude, they're sweating. Damn. They're sweating. They want it. They got a long ways to go, though. Oh, they can't touch this thing either. Watch me scare them. I'm gonna run right into it.
No regret. Just flesh made into a weapon. I control everything here. Civilization calls for your death, and you resist. Why? What do you have to live for?
Oh boy. So this was Infinite Mr. X. You're gonna have all sorts of fun with this while it's here. A lot of your matches are gonna end in Area 1. Even more of them will end in Area 2. If you're lucky, one will get to Area 3, but they're still gonna lose because as Area 1, Area 2, and Area 3 progress, the recharge rate passively on bioweapons goes down by a bunch. So it gets even faster and it snowballs. It's just ridiculous. So you pretty much just have to follow them around with Mr. X and they can't do anything, which is great. It's great. So how would you counter this? Have a bioweapon killer build. Jill's good for that. She can run bio killer. I never made my bio killer build as a video, but if you want me to, I can. Jill's pretty good for it. Becca's good for it too, because she can do a big chunk of damage with her eagle eye. We're really just a team that works together to go ahead and attack Mr. X. That's really how you counter this. But a lot of teams aren't going to do that. They're just going to get scared and be like, what the heck? Mr. X is back again? So thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to get a bunch of videos out for this game, and then that'll probably be it, or we'll see. I'll be streaming it. You guys can come join the streams. I highly encourage you guys to do that. Again, thank you so much for all of what you've provided with me with this game and these videos. I'm going to do what I can to really do its service at the end here and make it as much as fun as possible with what we got left. And that'll be it. So you guys are the best. Thanks for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next video that we do around here.